For 28 years, this New Orleans-born band has entertained crowds from festivals and fairs to sporting events and private parties. Behind the scenes, that amounts to a lot of hours of makeup, face painting, and costuming to transform 4 musicians into the bag of donuts. They're regular guys with regular jobs. And now a tiny addition. Meet 8-year-old Dublin Horner, the newest band member, a mini donut if you will, and boy does he put on a show. That's him performing with the band in Breckenridge, Colorado during a college ski trip. His dad, Bobby, is the lead singer. His uncle Jonathan plays guitar. They say they realized it was in Dublin's blood when he was just a toddler.
Amanda and I really realized that this was clicking when we'd go home and he would sing all these songs. He could barely talk, but he could sing the songs. And that was all day, every day.
Dublin started going on stage during gigs a few years ago and gradually got more involved.
And it's kind of amazing that it doesn't frighten him, because a lot of people would just walk out there and just, free. I mean, that's a natural thing to be scared of that. To see someone so young, so into it, who seemingly doesn't seem to have any fear, that's kind of an interesting thing that people want to watch. And I think, and I can say this as a proud father, but when they meet him, he's such a sweet kid too.
Behind the makeup and the costume, which Dublin pulls together almost entirely by himself,
I feel like I am turning into rock and roll,
is a little boy who loves to entertain.
I just saw my daddy and I was like, I wonder what it's like to get on stage. And when he let me on stage, it just felt so cool. I just kept doing it.
Do you like seeing all the people out there watching you?
Yeah.
But he will also tell you he loves school.
How much do you love school?
Like at least 1,000,000%.
1,000,000%?
Yes.
What do you love about it?
I just love everything about school.
What's your favorite subject?
Science.
His second-grade teacher at St. Francis Xavier in Metairie says he has an enthusiasm for learning. But she says he's by no means a performer in class like he is on stage.
Very shy, yes. Totally opposite. Like I said, I've seen pictures of him, but in class he's real serious about work.
His parents call that a prerequisite to performing.
Music's important, but you know what? You have to be smart and get your education, and then that leads to everything else.
I do pretty well. Last report card on my test papers, I had all A+ 100s, but the only one was I just had 1 C.
And that means he can sing his little heart out.
He definitely steps it up every time he's on stage, and it makes it easy. We can kind of push him to the front, and we can just kind of stay in the back and not really have to do too much.
I feel like I'm just a side man on stage, and he's got the show, and we're totally cool with it.
Drummer Kevin George says they feed off of Dublin's natural ability to entertain.
When Dublin gives me the thumbs up, I'm like, he said I'm doing good. I get really excited.
After nearly 3 decades of performing, they all consider Dublin their secret weapon. And what they hope is the start of the next generation of donuts.
Obviously, when you live in New Orleans, it's so passionately about music. and and art and culture. And so for him to be jumping on that so early for us, if this was an avenue for him to be engrossed in that and be nurtured, I think that we want to try to do that as much as possible.